The sun hung high above Willow Creek, a manicured suburb in coastal Oregon, on what should have been a sleepy Thursday in August 2023. But a scream shattered the stillness, slicing through the air like a blade. In this pristine gated community, where every lawn was trimmed to perfection and silence was practically a bylaw, chaos had just stormed the gates. Neighbors paused mid-sprinkle, a cyclist fumbled her water bottle, and kids on scooters froze in their tracks. Eleanor Voss, the steely-eyed president of the Willow Creek Homeowners Association, stood on her porch like a general surveying a battlefield. Her left hand gripped a taser, its electric hum barely audible. Her target? A man in a crisp Navy postal uniform, standing by the community mailbox, clutching a stack of certified letters. He'd muttered something about missing ballots and federal audits. Eleanor's response was 50,000 volts of crackling fury. The man hit the pavement, twitching but eerily composed, a faint smirk curling his lips. As he looked up at her, his whispered words sent a chill through the crowd. "You just tossed a federal officer." He tapped his chest, and a tiny red light blinked beneath his shirt. This wasn't a mail carrier. He was an undercover investigator, and Eleanor had just lit the fuse on a scandal that would torch her carefully curated empire. For hours earlier, that same man, Nathan Cole, sat in a beat-up van parked near a gas station on Pinewood Drive. Sipping lukewarm coffee, he scratched at the fake were on his government plates to keep his cover intact. For 7 weeks, Nathan had been embedded in Willow Creek, posing as a mail carrier to unravel a web of corruption tied to the HOA. His mission sounded straightforward: probe allegations of grant fraud, election rigging, and interference with federal mail. But Willow Creek wasn't just tightly run, it was a fortress of obsession. Fines were slapped on residents for unapproved window blinds, slightly off-shade garage doors, or lawns that dared grow a half-inch too tall. Eleanor didn't just enforce rules. She wielded them like a scepter. One family faced a $2,000 penalty for a birdhouse deemed aesthetic noncompliance. Another had their mailbox repainted overnight for violating the community's neutral palette. Yet Eleanor's own home, with its unpermitted pergola and custom fountain, somehow escaped scrutiny. It wasn't about standards, it was about power. Nathan's suspicions crystallized when he noticed residents weren't receiving critical mail legal notices, voting ballots, even grant approvals. One woman, when asked about her missing housing appeal, blinked in confusion. "I thought it got lost." That's when Nathan went all in. He pinned a button camera to his uniform, launched a drone to sweep the neighborhood at dawn and dusk, and started testing the system. He marked a letter, returned to sender, and dropped it in the HOA's office box. Within hours, Marcus, Eleanor's loyal assistant, snatched it and slipped into the community center. Another time, Nathan sent a fake complaint letter to a resident. Eleanor showed up at their door by noon, threatening sanctions. She was intercepting mail before it reached anyone. That morning, Nathan planned to gather one final piece of evidence and confront Eleanor with the charges, offering her a chance to surrender quietly. But Eleanor's paranoia was a lit match. She noticed him chatting with residents, ignoring her orders to skip deliveries to non-compliant homes. She despised his defiance, especially after she'd posted signs declaring the mailboxes HOA-restricted zones. To Eleanor, Willow Creek was her kingdom, and any challenge was treason. So, when she spotted Nathan by the mailboxes, she snapped. In a floral robe and flip-flops, she charged out, taser raised like a royal decree. "You're not authorized here," she shrieked. "I never cleared you." Nathan held up his federal ID, smiling faintly. That only enraged her more. She fired. Now, sprawled on the asphalt, Nathan's earpiece crackled. "Bravo team confirms drones are live. Ground support inbound." He pulled a transmitter from his jacket, its signal pinging his team, who'd been monitoring the HOA's every move for weeks. Eleanor stood over him, panting, her taser hand trembling as neighbors emerged, phones recording. Some whispered, "Can she do that?" Others looked horrified. Nathan sat up, wincing but grinning. "You'll find out," he muttered. A police cruiser rolled up, lights flashing. The officers hesitated. Eleanor was notorious for her noise complaints and petty arrests, but this was no parking violation. This was a federal agent. One cop took Nathan's ID, his eyes widening. "We've got a 10 to 99 on HOA property," he radioed. "Agent down. Suspect detained." Eleanor tossed her taser into a bush and bolted for her porch, yelling, "You'll regret this. I am Willow Creek." Nathan chuckled, brushing off his sleeves as a drone buzzed overhead, capturing it all. Inside her house, Eleanor paced like a caged lioness. She'd ruled Willow Creek for 5 years, turning bylaws into a throne. But Nathan's calm defiance unnerved her. Someone was feeding him intel, she was sure of it. She summoned her board to the community center, a sterile room with a whiteboard of petty reminders and monitors showing feeds from 15 hidden cameras she'd installed under the guise of security. As her team, Marcus, the jittery treasurer, Clara, the silent secretary, and 2 yes-men shuffled in, Eleanor slammed a folder down. "One of you is a traitor," she hissed. That fake mailman knew exactly where to look. Marcus suggested Nathan might be bluffing. Eleanor silenced him with a video of Nathan rising from the taser hit, calmly signaling his drone fleet. "Bluffs don't come with air support," she snapped. Meanwhile, at a modest home on Cedar Lane, Nathan reviewed evidence in his makeshift command post. His team, hidden in a van posing as a utility crew, had hacked Eleanor's digital trail. They'd uncovered $500,000 in misdirected grants, funneled to a sham landscaping firm linked to a P.O. box in Idaho. One receipt showed a $20,000 compliance tool, purchase dated just before Eleanor bought her taser. Another listed $15,000 in gate upgrades, though the gates hadn't changed in years. Nathan met a retired librarian who whispered how Eleanor delayed mail to silence dissent. "I saw her shredding papers in the center once," he said. She locked the door and cut the cameras. That night, with a warrant in hand, Nathan raided the community center. Behind a false wall, they found a hidden room. Monitors showing live feeds from residents' yards, mailboxes, even a playground. A cabinet held unopened ballots, some burned, and a binder labeled HOA Confidential. It detailed surveillance targets, fines, and a chilling note: "If mail carrier persists, neutralize." Dated 3 days before the taser incident. Eleanor's world crumbled. Her mass email, claiming Nathan was a fraud, backfired as residents replied with memes and screenshots of her taser attack. Her assistant quit via text. Clara turned over a USB of secrets. When Eleanor tried to wipe the center security system, Nathan's team mirrored her phone, capturing every incriminating message. By dawn, residents rebelled. A tech-savvy retiree, Amir Khan, hacked the HOA's smart locks, freeing homes from Eleanor's remote control. Neighbors danced in the streets, grilling burgers and chalking sidewalks. Signatures piled up to dissolve the HOA. At a packed community meeting, Nathan, now in a sharp suit, revealed the full scope: $500,000 embezzled, illegal surveillance, mail tampering, and resident harassment. Videos showed Eleanor rifling mailboxes and plotting to sabotage dissenters. The crowd gasped as she stormed out, her lawyer trailing. "This is slander," she yelled. Nathan didn't blink. Slander doesn't come with a war room of burned ballots. Her lawyer pulled her away as residents booed. Weeks later, Eleanor faced charges: fraud, mail tampering, surveillance violations, and assault. Her home was searched, her accounts frozen. Willow Creek transformed. Residents rebuilt the community center, planted gardens, and held free block parties. At a final meeting, they honored Nathan with a plaque: "To Agent Cole, our only mailman." He smiled, packed his gear, and left. Back home, he found a letter from Eleanor, now in custody, campaigning for inmate block captain. He laughed, tossed it, and flipped on the TV. Willow Creek was free, but somewhere another HOA was likely brewing trouble. What do you think? Was Eleanor a tyrant who got what she deserved, or a misguided leader trying to keep order? Could the residents have stopped her sooner, or was federal intervention the only way? Should HOAs have this much power, or are they a recipe for petty dictators? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more wild stories.